Hey guys, how's it going? Just going to take you through a pretty quick little video instruction on doing an oil change. We're going to do it here on my 5.7 Hemi and follow what I do. So first off, you got to figure out what type of oil you need. So if you don't happen to know, a little trick is if you look under your hood, that's the cap that you're going to fill your oil with, and you'll see it says 5W20. So if you don't know, that's a way to figure it out. If not, go to your local AutoZone or O'Reilly's or whatever, and they can look up your vehicle by its make and model and year and everything, and they'll tell you that when you buy it there. Now for this truck, I went with the Pennzoil Full Synthetic. This is one of the more recommended oils to use with a Hemi. Also, what you'll need is an oil filter. Use these, they're pretty good. Never had any issues with the oil filters, obviously, but there are higher price range and grade ones you can buy. So this is also something that they'll have to look up and find the number that goes with your vehicle, obviously. So now for location, so I'm going to show you where the oil filter goes. Come down under the bumper, and I'm not a huge fan of where they put it. It's in a very tight spot, but if you look up here, you see the old Wix filter right there. So that's where this new one's got to go. Now for draining oil, you're going to need a oil drip pan, 7 quart. This truck takes 7 quarts, so see what you're doing there. So that'll be underneath the truck. You do that. Also, you're gonna need some kind of a funnel when you put it back in. So I usually just make one like this. Now you're gonna crawl underneath your vehicle. You can see this is your oil pan right here. And that's the plug you're gonna take out, the 13 millimeter. Make sure you have your drip pan waiting to catch it. I wouldn't do this right after shutting your vehicle off if you've been driving, just because the oil will be really hot if it gets in your hands at all. Also be careful not to drop that plug in this, because then it'll be buried in oil and you gotta wipe it off and all that mess. So not too bad. Usually I make much more of a mess. Just let this drain for a few minutes and drip. Well, almost done. I would suggest maybe getting a larger than this 7 quart pan for a truck, just because now you got to be really careful picking it up and moving it without spilling it. But a good suggestion is to use an old saucepan, like a big saucepan. Works really well for draining this out, and it's actually pretty easy to wipe out and clean up. Wipe it off. You're definitely going to want some scrap cardboard, because it definitely will leak out a little bit everywhere. So this here is a filter wrench. So since it's going to be hard to film, I'm just going to show you with the new one. So basically you're just going to go under there with this thing. This will be hanging where it's supposed to be. So that tightens down around the clamp, and then you're going to turn it. And if you have to, you can wrap a towel around it, because this filter is just like barely small, too small for this clamp, I think. So or if it has oil on it, it could be a little slippery. Well, this looks like the best I can do for a video. Pull it out. So it's out. You can see how much mess it makes. So cardboard is pretty imperative. Now we got the new one. Basically gonna put it in the same way we took the old one out. Thing to know, this O-ring right here, it's good to take a little oil and just put it on it. Just helps with the seal. So just rub some oil on it, and you'd be all set. Now we're gonna fill her back up. All right, so we got 6 quarts in there, just letting that bottle drain a bit. 7th is about to go in, and then that's about it for that. So to wrap up with this, you put it in, use your dipstick, check it just to make sure, but should be a fine. I know this is 7 quarts, so you want to do is start it up, run it for a few minutes, and then you want to run it, shut it off, let it sit for 5 minutes, then check your oil level, because you got to let it drain back in the oil pan so you get an accurate reading. Now for your waste oil, what I usually do is I just take that pan and I fill up the used bottles with waste oil, and then I'll usually write waste oil on it so no one mistakes it. and then I'll take it over to a local auto body or anywhere that collects waste oil. A lot of people burn it and stuff like that too, so for heating in the winter. So if you don't want to get to it, I'm going to show you how to reset the thing that notifies you when your oil life is up. So you're going to go to the menu to vehicle info, and then you're going to go scroll till you find oil life. So you can see right here I was at 14%, and then you're going to hit the right arrow on your thing right here, and that will reset it. Now we're at 100%, and it'll notify you when the oil you just changed into it is ready to be changed again. So we just ran it and backed it up. Now we're going to deal with putting our waste oil in the empty jugs. And after we're done with that, probably be about time to check our dipstick and the oil level to make sure we're not over full or too small. By the way, Ocean Spray cranberry juice makes a perfect fit into the 5-quart jug. So as you can see here, definitely use your cardboard again, because if you're like me and have the patience of a squirrel, you're going to over pour it. So now we're going to check it. Don't even look at it the first time. Just clean it off, put it back. So now, what you want to look for is the fill line. You can see between those two dots is where you want it to be. You can see the oil is just at the top of that top dot, so we're like perfect. You check your oil if you have a vehicle that eats oil at all or burns it. If you hit that bottom dot, it means you need to add a quart. So we're all set. And that's how you change the oil in a Ram truck, or can be done in any other one, but stay tuned for more instructional videos like these.